Glad to have you back. You're still watching Newsnight. 50,000 Nigerians have taken Shell to court in London, accusing the energy giant and the Nigerian government of ignoring a $1 billion cleanup of the polluted Niger Delta region. Lawyers representing two Ogoniland communities say Shell must take responsibility for oil pollution that occurred between 1989 and 2020, allegedly from its infrastructure. Well, in 2011, the United Nations Environment Programme found that people in Ogoniland were drinking carcinogenic water. That's water with causative causes for cancer. The communities say the spills have left them without clean water, unable to farm and fish, and created serious risks to public health. Well, Shell has denied any wrongdoing and will defend the claims in court. It says spills in the region have been caused by sabotage, theft, and illegal refining, for which it says it is not liable. Well, let's cross live to London and speak to Rise News correspondent Lakwe Olarinoye. Lakwe, great to see you tonight. What's the latest on this story? Bring us up to speed.
Hi, Ediswa. Well, yes, this story has dated back as far as 2011, as you rightly pointed out in your intro there. It's been building, of course, and garnering a lot of attention, and that's because the claimants have increasingly got larger and larger in number from the economic issue of the oil drilling in the Niger Delta that we know has been going on for decades. But now, of course, since 2011, there's been more of a concern, which is the fact that there's now a serious health issue risk to the residents of parts of the Niger Delta region. And that, of course, was founded by the WHO. In fact, that carcinogenic particles that they're finding in the water is said to be 900 times worse than any other place. So that shows you just how bad the water source and the content of the water for people in that area. So far, some of the reports are quite damning. I mean, residents of that area have reported children dying. One lady that was reportedly spoken to said she has lost 8 children as a result of drinking the polluted water. Some people that can't afford to buy water are resorting to drinking that water and therefore then dying. Others who are a bit more privileged not to drink the water, having to pay up to $3 per bottle just to have a clean source of water. So, of course, as a result of this, 50,000 different claimants have now sued Shell, and we saw that take place earlier today in the UK. And that hearing is said to be finalised, or a result is said to come out from that hearing at the end of the year.
And what are some of the implications of this lawsuit, Lakwe?
Well, it's like I said, it's quite damning, Adesua. I mean, for Shell to be taken to court by not just Shell, it's also the Nigerian government as well, by 50,000 different people, including residents, including traditional leaders. The implication could be quite severe. There's said to have been a $1 billion clean out happening. Those claimants are saying that actually that's never happened. It has failed. And actually, they're going as far as calling it a scam, a way to shut them up from complaining. But they're saying that some of their realities are harsh. They're very real. There's been several pictures like the one we're looking at now, just to show you how bad the water source and content is. You can see the oil literally floating on top of the water. And so the implication is not only now economical, it's health. Shell could have a lot to answer for, but we won't know kind of how bad it is and the implications of that until later next year.
You're right. It's indeed horrible to see those pictures, to know that people live, on waters around that sort of a community, an area that are polluted. But how soon are we likely to get a result from this legal challenge?
It's been ongoing for a number of years. Like I said, the report was opened about the health risk in 2011. In 2016, the king of Ogbale, which is a community within the Ogoni region, of course, the renowned Ogoni region, was said to have been there today at the court hearing, and he is one of those 50,000 claimants who is saying that he wants justice for his local community. He wants them to be able to have access and actually wants to hold Shell and the Nigerian government to account. And he is just one of many who are seeking an answer and want something done as soon as possible. However, knowing how long the judicial system takes, the number of hearings, the responses, possible appeals even, it's unlikely if there will be an answer as quickly as those claimants would want. But the date that is being thrown around, in fact, there is no date, just a time next year, is the end of next year. But it could well be further than that. This is something that Shell has been battling for many years, decades, might I argue. But actually, they're not going to sit back and almost accept these allegations. I suspect that they would want to fight back too. But there's a serious bone of contention here. That $1 billion water cleanup still hasn't been done. So they will have to answer for that. How soon is still uncertain. But like I say, we're expecting that something might come as a result of this towards the end of next year.
Well, fingers crossed. Thank you so much, Lakpe Olarinoye, our News correspondent in London.